look what time of the year it is. Time to exploit some society's most vulnerable people for views. Anywho, originally I wanted to make this video about the Imjin War. The one with the turtle ships and Admiral Yi. But then I realized Pride Month. And also I haven't uploaded a video in a month. I was going to do it yesterday, but I was really tired. There's this thing I really hate. Yeah, it's like a history trope. It is the great man hypothesis or theory, whatever. It's basically that history is just a collection of great men or women, it doesn't really matter. It's just great people. It's just wrong. Harriet Tubman and Abraham Lincoln, they didn't stop slavery. The idea of abolition ended slavery. It's ideas that really set things into motion instead of individuals. Most of the time. There are two exceptions. To the the idea that ideas trump people, individuals. When it comes to conquest, when it comes to empire building, which are kind of one and the same depending on the context, but whatever. And what I'm going to be talking about is one of the most important people in Japanese history. Oda Nobunaga. I'm butchering that, but whatever. He was gay. See, that's tie-in, he was gay, right? But he was also instrumental in the unification of Japan in the mid-1500s. And then eventually the Imjin War, which I will probably cover next month. But today, we're gonna see a future where Oda never existed, or at least, he got yoked as a baby. It's a thing they used to do. Abortion was more widespread. I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter why he doesn't exist. He just isn't important. And we're gonna see how much history changes without the singular gay man. So, first of all, Japan never gets unified. But that's obvious. Of course, the guy who unifies Japan, if he does not exist, he won't be around to unify Japan, and Japan will go ununified. So, given the fact that we can't really definitively say or predict, conquerors, we just have to assume until a foreign power arrives that they would just stay broken. And they almost certainly would have. The Ming and the Qing at least the Ming were isolationists. And then by the time the Qing came around, Japan would have already been subjugated by, drumroll please, Russia. Russia would have expanded at that time. And chances are they would have sent a few vessels down there to subjugate some kingdoms, and eventually, over the centuries, fully subjugate the Japanese archipelago. At least, that's what we're going with. And, that's not really, it gives Russia more of an investment in the Pacific region. But until the Opium War, it doesn't really matter. It's just Russia's extra big. The Crimean War probably still happens, and they probably still sell Alaska. But after the, Opium War? Opium Wars, chances are they will they will gain access to most, if not all, of northern China, due to the fact that Japan's not there to contest the rule. And it's also strengthens their position there due to it being strategically viable. And thus, China is mostly under European sovereignty. Greater British Empire, or French, or Russian, doesn't really matter until the First World War. Now, it mostly plays out the same, but there are kind of two ways you can take this. Because of the riches extracted from China, the upper class becomes more rich, right? But the poor, the slaves, or I forgot the word, but they will not be receiving any of that. So they might revolt a few years or so earlier, like in 1915 or 1916. And, well, the second way you can take it is the Japanese aren't there to kick their asses when Russia and Japan fight over warm water ports in China. So you can take this anyway. We're going to take this in the revolution in 1516 area. So Russia, now the USSR, going to pull out of the Great War. And chances are Finland will break off and there'll still be a civil war in Russia. But, everything will pretty much stay the same until the Second World War. Which, there's a little bit that happens. Mao, I don't really see why he wouldn't be a prominent figure. And I think it'd be fair to say that he would still be like a socialist or whatever, but I feel like he would adopt more of a Nazbol complex because, well, the foreigners, European foreigners, will make it so that fascism seems like a great idea, but also he probably wants to stick to the OG socialist ideals that he had when he was younger. So it evolves into this Nazbol thing in China, and basically it takes the place of, you guessed it, Nazi Germany. Not Nazi Germany, Japan, fascist Japan. Hirohito is no more, Mao is in. So they fight. And because of this, because of no Japan, Pearl Harbor never happened, so America never joins. And so America never joins, so the UK probably follows, maybe Ireland too. And Russia is just left to steamroll Germany in the 40s, especially because the Jews won't be incentivized to go to America as a Jewish nuclear scientist. They'll go to Russia to spread the secrets. And chances are, like Frankfurt or Cologne, Hamburg maybe, will get nuked, kind of like Nagasaki. But, like, just to show off, basically, like how it was in Nagasaki too. But chances are Hitler killed himself after the Soviets invade Berlin, and the chain of command will go down the same, so that the Navy officer surrenders Nazi Germany. So basically all of Europe is under Soviet control. And, Finland, the reason Finland wasn't swallowed up by the USSR, so the USSR had someone to basically, like, mediate things. But without that need, Finland just gets swallowed up. Probably takes, like, a year or two. Like, really embarrassing, kind of like an extension of the Finnish War. But, whatever. And after that, probably in the 50s, there'll probably be like a decade-long civil conflict where I could definitely see China getting nukes to even the balance. So that China is basically the U.S. in this timeline, but like fascist or Nazbol, and Russia is Russia, USSR. And I actually have a rough map of what I think it would be. It's in the description, but you can look at that if you want. So there'd be proxy wars from the 50s all the way to modern day, because, well, the USSR only collapsed because of, bad policies. Same thing with China. China never fell. So chances are both of them wouldn't have fallen. And America would probably lean more towards China, but also racist sentiment might make it so that it's unpopular, so they might be their own thing. I'm not sure, that's why I left it as neutral. So, with Stalin in power, it's just a fun little tidbit. Not really fun. Chances are he would kill a bunch of gays. Like, it would come full circle. A gay person not existing, not being in power, eventually causes the deaths of thousands of gays in USSR, Russia, or all across it. And essentially that's what I have down. But you probably clicked on this for more than just the turn of history. You probably saw the other thing in the title. Well, the other thing was a day ago, I realized something. I'm bisexual. I know it isn't National Coming Out Day, but I just realized it out of the blue. Like, it was in plain sight, but not really. Like, it's funny how that isn't how it should be obvious, but it isn't, but it is. And, well, I guess I just want to share it with you. So this isn't completely just capitalization on marginalized groups. Not completely. Oh yeah, I guess it's also capitalizes on Asian Pacific History Month too. I didn't realize that. Alright. Toodles. That's my video for the month.